They got some bikes, they're gonna ride through all the countryside, and they'll do it side by side. Kenneth and Allie, they're gonna rally through all the peaks and valleys. Shout out to Rand McNally. We're the West Coast ready to greet them in search of the end of the weekend. Well, it's a trans-American ride.
All right. We're rolling. As Calvin, what is his name? Calvin Jones? I've been rolling down the street. I've been crapping.
Calvin Harris.
Yeah. We are in Rollins. It's the 25th now. What'd you say?
It's 8 a.m.
Yeah, it is. So we got into Rollins yesterday. Had a pretty crazy day. Even crazier night.
Mm-hmm.
Removed this little ham boy from my pants. I mean, my sandwich. Ouch, this is so hot.
Yesterday was not super eventful, biking-wise. It was a pretty regular day.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Plain.
even... Oh, look at that deer.
Oh, wow.
This town is full of
There's deer everywhere.
Yeah, in everyone's yard, on the street, by buildings.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah.
I don't think the biking was very eventful.
No. So yeah, we recorded yesterday at breakfast, and then...
We did 43 miles here.
Did we even stop anywhere? Like...
I'm sure we did once for a break.
But did we stop at like a gas station, or was it just one push?
It was that gas station in that town. I don't know. Maybe we didn't. I don't even remember.
Yeah, well, obviously you're not missing out on anything. We got into Rollins around 2, I want to say.
Yeah.
And there was a Thai food restaurant here.
Oh, yeah.
So we're pretty excited about that.
Went straight there.
Uh-huh.
Ordered our food. It came out pretty fast. We got it to go. Because we don't want COVID. All those people sitting in that restaurant.
Yeah. Very close to each other.
It's crazy just crossing state lines how much COVID is or is not a concern for people.
Yeah, out here it just seems like if you're in the service industry, you're going to be wearing a mask, but...
If your company makes you, then you have to, but if it doesn't and you're just on your own or not working, no one wears a mask, I feel like.
For sure.
Especially the old people.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any old people wearing masks.
They're over it.
Because we were around a lot of old people last night.
Yeah, we were. So
we got the Thai food. We went to a pavilion in a public park.
Drank some beer.
Drank some beer. We had a really nice dinner. Well, lunch, really.
First dinner, yeah.
First dinner. We're just chilling with Athena. She was there as well. And then... Oh, there's a prison here that's old and closed down and is now a museum. And everyone was like, we should go. So we did.
Yeah, it was a penitentiary from like the early 1900s.
It closed down in like 87 or something.
Like 4 years after they got hot water and electricity or something like that.
That shit was fucked up.
In Wyoming.
It's so terrible. The stories that she was telling.
Yeah.
We did a guided tour. It was like a half hour for maybe $10. And I didn't really want to do it, but it was interesting. Definitely a time filler.
Yeah.
Creepy place.
Very
lots
creepy.
of death.
Yeah.
Lots of suffering.
Yeah.
It was really fucked up.
I didn't really get any haunted vibes. I got more haunted vibes.
If we went in there at night, dude, that would be fucking terrifying. It was already really dark in some areas. They didn't turn any of the lights on. We were just walking around, so empty, so quiet. Didn't like.
Yeah.
We saw the gallows, the gas chamber.
Yeah. And we were her last tour of the day. So in each room that we went to, she would lock the previous room behind us. And in my mind, I just kept thinking about her locking us in one of those cells, like the death row cell, or because she was like, our tour is running a little faster than usual, so if you want to take a closer look at the death row cells, feel free. And I
You
was
can
like,
go in there. We were on a tour with an older couple, so it was just the 5 of us. And they didn't say anything the whole time.
yeah. Yeah, we asked a couple questions. I'd taken an edible before we went, and so that really kind of ramped it up for me a bit, because I was just like really putting myself in the position of living in it was like a 4x5 cell, 4x5x8 or something like that. And you really had no room. The original cells, you couldn't even really walk to the front or back of your cell without bumping into either your bed or the toilet.
Yeah.
In fact, there were no toilets in the original cells.
No, they had fucking buckets.
Yeah.
There wasn't even like room to do push-ups, which is the
No.
only thing I can think of that people like to do in jail that's like productive.
Yeah.
Push-ups and pull-ups.
Yeah.
That's what I know about
I don't know if they
hanging
did.
out in prison.
Yeah, maybe they hadn't invented push-ups yet. But it was interesting, and there was a storm rolling in during the tour. We went to the outside part where we saw like the recreational area, and the storm looked really bad. So we were pretty anxious for the tour to wind up or wrap up, and it did pretty quickly shortly after we saw, I guess, the gas chamber, which again was not a very pleasant thing to see.
Yeah, dude, and like she would like tell a story,
Yeah.
and she'd be like, his body was hanging right here.
While they
and then
ate
we'd walk
breakfast.
under it, and I'd be like, oh my god, this is like creepy,
Yeah.
bad. But it was interesting.
And we got out before the storm.
Just as it started raining, we thought it was like really gonna come down.
Yeah, it looked like it.
It looked threatening,
The wind was blowing.
hard.
Some little drops were starting to fall.
So we made a mad dash back to the pavilion. It was only like maybe a half mile. But
Yeah.
we went down and up that hill twice, 3 times for you.
Yeah.
And going down the hill from the park was a tailwind and obviously downhill. But then coming back up, it was so windy.
Yeah.
And it was uphill. It was such a struggle to go back up to that park twice.
Yeah. Definitely.
But we made it.
And when we got there, we were greeted with company. Little did we know, it was like the annual meeting of the Lions Club at this pavilion.
Their picnic, their annual
Yeah.
picnic.
So more people started to trickle in. When we first got there, there was this one guy kind of sadly setting up. It looked like a picnic for one.
He put on a tablecloth and then he started doing shit with the grill. And I was like, oh my god, these people are going to be here for like 4 hours
Yeah.
if they're grilling.
And they pretty much were.
And they were. So like 18 old white people show up. They have their little picnic.
They were nice.
They were nice.
A lot of them talked to us. They shared food with us. Shared stories, shared suggestions about what we should see and do on this route. That one guy who told us to go see that big arrow, he knew how crazy his directions
Yeah.
were. He was like, man, this is like the worst way I could ever describe how to get there. But anyway, we hung out with them, peripherally until about 9 o'clock. I think it was maybe 8:30 that we decided to all set up our tents because it was just close enough.
It stopped raining by point. And we actually had a really cool sunset and like a clear night sky. So we set up in the grass, not under the pavilion. So we were far enough away. We were under some trees.
Yeah, under trees.
It was a great spot. There were bathrooms there. There was
Yeah.
a water fountain.
Yeah.
Great public park.
But at around 11 o'clock, after everyone was
After we were like dead asleep.
dead ass asleep, like, I don't even know how much time had actually passed since we fell asleep, but it felt like forever.
Well, we fell asleep at like 9:30. So then 11, we were already so hard into sleep.
Hard into sleep, bro. But a light flashes on our tent, and it's a police officer telling us who he is and what he's doing. But he got a report that people camping in the park, and
Yeah, he said someone called in. And we're like, what fucking paranoid asshole is driving around,
Yeah.
calling the police that there's two tents in a public park at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
That aren't moving, that
Right.
aren't doing anything.
Right.
No lights on, no music, no drugs.
No.
That can be seen.
Yeah. No obvious drugs.
No, we weren't doing anything. So
But,
he comes over.
Yeah. Long
Oh my
ordeal.
god. Yeah.
He checks all of our names, all of our addresses.
He got a lot of information, which I was thinking about it, and honestly, like, I get that. That's smart, because what if we were, like, fugitives on the run? That's how,
Yeah.
like, they catch serial killers and shit.
Yeah, he said that
like
he wanted
traffic stops.
if our information came back clean, he'd let us go.
Yeah.
He wanted to see if we had any warrants for sure. And Athena,
Not let us go as in let us stay there, but let us go as in we need to pack up all our shit and move somewhere else because we can't camp there.
yeah, we had to go. Well, Athena gave him her nom de plume. Her real name is not Athena, and so he didn't get any results back from her, and so she had to go twice and give him her full real name, her fur. And he was like Delta Alpha Bravo Charlie Chickle Chapples, like doing all that military stuff to spell out the name.
Yeah, dude.
And it was just
Pennsylvania female.
Yeah.
Caucasian.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're fucking profiling me?
Alpha, Leda, Epsilon, yeah, whatever. But
I mean, he was nice enough.
he
but
reminded me so much of the other guy from whatever the fuck that town was. He sounded his stature looked about the same.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit heftier, a little bit more handles of love.
But just the way he said things pissed me off. He was like, you can't stay in the park after 12 p.m. Meanwhile, it's 11. So we're like, okay, are you telling us to move? We can't camp here?
Yeah.
And then he said, there's a fairground like a mile and a half down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
You can go there, and I've already called the other officers. You won't have any more trouble. Like, are you trying to sound like our friend right now? Like, you're trying to make us feel like you did us a favor by making sure we'll have safe passage at the fairground, which we didn't even go to.
Yeah, we ended up, we all sleepily and sloppily packed up. Well, at least I did. My fingers got ripped apart by trying to hold all my bags, and I fell off my bike very gently, but definitely was not going to be able to gracefully carry my stuff down. And so we all headed down.
Yeah, a mile and a half.
Thankfully, as you said, it was all downhill with a slight tailwind.
Yeah.
But we got to the area where we thought it pretty much was, and we just saw a baseball field. And we're like, dude, this is good enough. Like, if there's grass on the field, play ball, as they say. And there was grass on that field, and so we played ball. Set everything back up, got back in our tents. It was 11:52, I think, when I remember us like finally lying back down.
Yeah, and I can't remember what time it was.
It was about 11.
Oh my god. Well, I was thinking about it, and that's about how much time I spend awake every night anyways.
So they kind of did you a favor?
Yeah.
Just getting it over with in the beginning of the night.
No, dude.
But yeah.
That was not pleasant.
And I think you were right. I think Athena was definitely pissed. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone was pissed. And I tried to do a little plea, because I was like, well, I might as well try to say something to keep us here. I was like, I know that the Lions Club doesn't actually own this park, but they, for all intents and purposes, basically gave us permission to stay here. Like, can we stay in that pavilion? And he was like, no, I think that they just sponsored that pavilion. I don't think they own it.
I think
Therefore,
he didn't
I
know
am
shit. And he was just following orders.
following protocol. But yeah, we woke up at around 6:30, 6:45 this morning, and Athena was already gone. I don't know what time she left.
Yeah, I didn't even hear her.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that I wasn't a bit more on guard, because I laid in the tent last night, reeling with the adrenaline. I kind of felt like I was going to throw up when he first came by.
Really?
Just because I woke up in a very just disturbed way.
Yeah?
And I had so much wine and Thai food and beer and macaroni and cheese. It was threatening.
Yeah, I always feel like my stomach gets disturbed when I wake up from a deep sleep unintentionally.
Yeah.
And then especially like standing up, packing up, biking,
Yeah.
getting up
Just
again.
being dead ass asleep.
Yeah, that's like completely fucking up your REM cycles. And
Yeah, you're fucking up my REM cycles, bruh. But yeah, we left this morning, and got to the Loaf and Jug, one of our favorites out here.
Gas station.
Yeah, it's Loaf and Jug, for those who don't immediately put it together. When you go to a store, what are you going to buy? You're going to buy a loaf of milk and a jug of bread. So Loaf Jug. It's our surrogate Casey's, which was our surrogate Sheets. And who knows how widespread these Loaf and Jugs are. I get the feeling they're probably not going to be in Oregon.
No.
They'll probably
Oregon's
have
gonna have fucking like vegan food at their gas stations.
yeah, dispensaries,
Pre-rolled.
annex, yeah. Yeah, they've been legal for a long time.
Yeah.
I think I was there in 2015. They had just legalized it, and the only thing that they could sell was flour. They didn't have any edibles. So you could buy pre-rolled joints, which I did, or just straight up flour.
I think he's doing a mating dance.
He's got a bug in his mouth.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, but maybe that's part of it.
Look at all of them up
I know,
there.
there's a ton of birds. I think today's going to be a really nice day, though. I didn't even leave my rain
Weather-wise?
jacket out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like high 70s
Yeah.
and sunny. No rain.
And you just found someone on Instagram who just started the Transamerica westbound on July 12th. And God bless her, because, believe you me, she's going to have some hot days out there. I can't even imagine what her posts are going to be like when she gets into Missouri or
Dude.
Kansas
Dude.
or even through, like, the rest of Kentucky.
Or
'Cause-
southern Colorado.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be in the triple digits the week after we left.
Yeah. Yeah, like,
And that was only
consistently.
like the beginning of July.
Yeah, yeah. So all is well. I mean, one thing Athena did say last night on our way down was, imagine if we were black, or
Dude.
if we weren't white, I think she said.
Yeah.
It would have, holy shit, look at that deer.
I think that's a mule deer. Its ears are so big. That's not a white tail.
Yeah.
She
Whatever.
doesn't look so good.
They all kind of look like that. Maybe that's the mule part.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the deer here are pretty crazy. I went on a little bit of an errand last night because I had a taste for red wine. And so I went out by myself to the liquor store, which is a bit of an ordeal because I had to go to a bunch of different places to actually find what I was looking for. And even then I had to compromise. But, nice.
Bye.
Bye. Allie's going to go do some business. But yeah, on my way back, just crisscrossing through the neighborhood trying to get a feel for this town, I saw 6 deer, which was pretty cool. They were all very, docile and approachable. This deer does look like it has, a growth on its leg. That looks bad. But I guess it's doing good enough. Well enough. So yeah, it's 8:06 now. Dang, y'all. Scratching its face with its nasty, lumpy leg. This is crazy. So yeah, I don't know. Rollins was a bittersweet experience. Everyone in the Lions Club was really nice and very approachable and seemed to be good representations of the best elements of the community. But when we left the cafe yesterday in Saratoga, the cashier was telling me that this area, he called it the ghetto, which I don't really know about all that, but all I know is that we slept very well 2 nights ago in Saratoga, and we definitely did not have equivalent peaceful sleep last night. But it's all good. We got a 67-mile day ahead of us. I think we're headed to Jeffrey City or something like that, which looks like a pretty big small town, probably similar to this. This place has about 6,000 population, and again, when you have multiple thousands in our experience so far, it has had everything that you need. Water, food, pavilions, electricity sometimes. So it's going to be a good day. It feels pretty nice, cool, got everything we need to get there, and I'm sure we'll meet up with Athena once we do get there. Don't really know what the road conditions are going to be like. Wyoming has had a pretty good shoulder, at least. Colorado it pretty much did as well, but I think, we're, I don't know how many miles into Wyoming now, maybe 80, and yeah, it's been pretty accommodable. Also, yesterday, we had to get on to Interstate 80. That was part of the actual route. So we were on an interstate for about maybe 10 or 15 miles, which I had to do that back when I was on my trip to New York City. I remember it was after Hurricane Irma, I think, and a portion of the Blue Ridge Parkway had been closed because of tree falls and stuff like that, and I had climbed up like maybe 1,500 feet from Asheville to get onto the Blue Ridge Parkway, only to find a park ranger directing people off the Blue Ridge Parkway back down the way I had just come up, because it was closed. And I tried to plead with her. I was like, I understand that this is closed, but is it navigable by bicycle? Because if there's some trees down or whatever, it's not like it's going to be hard for me to dismount, pick my bike up, and get over a tree. I doubt that it's going to be so large that it's not possible. And she had said that there were like some downed power lines, which, having biked to the Blue Ridge Parkway, I don't think that's true. I mean, I guess some places did have power, but I really don't remember seeing any power lines along the Blue Ridge Parkway. There probably are some, but anyway, all that just to say, I had to go back down towards Asheville, and I took this huge detour that added, I think, maybe 10 or 20 miles. So it was my first 10,000 foot day on that trip to New York City. And so yesterday, when we were looking at the map and seeing that we were going to have to get on Interstate 80, Allie was a little nervous about that. And in my experience, I was like, no, dude, the interstate's great because your shoulder is 8 to 12 feet wide. In my mind, it seems like they make it wide enough so that it can accommodate a semi breaking down without having to be on any kind of gravel. Hey, dear. And so I really enjoyed that stretch. I think Allie was still a little put off by it because people were zooming past 80 miles an hour. But we were so far away from the traffic, I really felt pretty comfortable. And we got off at a town called Sinclair, which is either named after the gas station or vice versa. It was a whole community, and there was a refinery there. I'll leave a picture of the refinery as the album art for this episode. But it was cool to go through Sinclair, and then we were able to get to Rollins from there, and it wasn't really a big deal. So hopefully today, no interstate. I don't really think that we're going to have any more of that. I'm sure that that's something that they've wanted to, not include as much as possible on a route for bicyclists. But yeah, looking forward to the day, ready to get out of here. Not very impressed by the hospitality of the police force in this town. So it'll be nice to leave and move on. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Oh, Allie's back. This deer has a pretty bad looking growth on its rear right leg. It looks like a pretty infected sore. Hey. Wow, Allie's going up to it. Oop. There it goes. Any parting words of wisdom?
I don't know where I would be on this trip without chamois green.
I thought you were going to say with me. Your ass would still look great. But, yeah. It's a good thing to have. Are you running low? Or do you
I have one left.
Okay.
One packet, and that lasts me a week maybe.
Okay. I want to see that deer jump over that fence.
Yeah.
Looks like it's
totally could.
Oh yeah, for sure. That'd be crazy. Cool. Well, from our ears to your ears. Bye.
Bye.